Hey Fairby, welcome. Hey again, welcome. Do you have something nice to eat after the last stream? Yeah. Nothing too crazy though. I had a piece of that chocolate from you. But then I had a nap, so I just woke up in time. For Kate it took like, I don't know, 10 minutes to wake me up. So I'm still, looking kinda worse for wear. Sorry for that. So, anyways, welcome. Today we're going to be playing CC3 Augustus, custom map by xHyuukin, which is called... Where do I have it? Here, Ambush at the Northern Border. It is the 11th mission of his campaign. And so this one is, again, northern map, it seems like. Let's take a look. I'll have to read the instructions, so I'll just put it here. Sounds like you need it. You just sleep. Yeah, clearly. I haven't been sleeping too well lately. So I tried to reset it, and now today I need to go to sleep reasonably soon. And so that should be good to do. You'll see. So Ambush at the Northern Border by xHyuukin. It's his 11th mission, as I said. So let's read the instructions. Actually, we are gonna have AI Caesar read it. Yeah, that's what I just realized. Hey Kerry, welcome. How are you doing? Map looks cool, yes. All xHyuukin maps look very, very cool. This one is like whole natives. If you had a native whatever, you know what I mean, right? Missionary post, yeah. My brain is still sleepy. Missionary post, you could like make obscene amount of money off of this, but that's not the goal. This is just to aggravate all the Marias Baranas of the world. All of those natives, and we cannot trade with them, which is good, because otherwise this would be pretty ridiculous. This would buy more than like 10 Roman empires in this game. It's insane how much the natives can buy, even a single one. And so yeah. Starting place, this is nothing. If you've seen the previous ones, that's where the real art is. This one is like pretty simple compared to how the last city looked like. I'm gonna actually preemptively go in and disable these watchtowers. And let's see, I need to grab the TTS, yeah. Which means I'm gonna have to stop the game music for a little bit, so just give me a sec.
Salve and congratulations, Governor, on your successful conquest of Murus Terroris. The city is now under your command and will no longer be a threat. However, the former ruler of the city, Tartere Lucas, has not yet been found. It is important to locate and arrest him soon, as he may regroup his troops and prepare for a battle. Unfortunately, stories of the city siege has spread among the locals, and there is a chance that the Senate is aware of our advance. Enemy troops are already closing in, and it will be necessary to defend ourselves against their attacks. Warn our allied villages before they fall under attack by the enemy troops. Most of these villages are located at the northern border, where a river cuts off civilization from the northern outskirts. Our maneuvers have been hidden by the deep forests so far, but this will not be the case any longer. Expect large amounts of enemy activity. Now back to your task. Villa Odea is one of the nearby villages, and I have already sent a herald to inform and prepare them for a potential attack. However, the herald has not returned, and we fear the worst. You will march south at dawn tomorrow to assess the situation and defend our territory. May the gods be with you.
Alright, so these are our instructions. Let's take a look at additional goals. We've got win conditions, 10,000 population, that's a lot. 50 culture should be natural. 100 prosperity, so some patricians are going to be necessary. 90 favor and 100 peace. 10,000 pop is a lot. Do not destroy fortifications of the enemy camp. Hence, attacks will come out of the camp and wolves are hiding in the safety of 3 groups. Right, so let's just take a look first. So we start with 6,000 denarii. Let's just take a look at our salary. We start with some personal savings and 46 favor. Drop this to 2 denarii per month. There is a wolf pack there and there, so it seems like they are on this island, which we'll probably have to use at some point. There are going to be more wolves, I'm sure, because you can have up to 4 on each map. So, pretty sure we'll find some more. Could do an enemies overlay. It's just not preferable. Still doesn't really help much, does it? Would be really helpful if the enemies overlay actually displayed the red squares like 2 distance away from any enemy on the map, you know? But this makes me a little bit paranoid, because it might not be good. Also, this forest, is this a marked corner? It probably is. Yeah. I kind of want to build back there. Entry point, exit point, food. There is fishing, but we don't have wharfs. Alright, food. It's gonna be pretty horrible if I was to guess. Doesn't seem to be much food on this bank at all, which is a problem since our soldiers will require food, and this other bank is the enemy camp, so the enemies will come from here. We display the squares that can't be built on, yeah. If you have the option to not wall them in, then you can have that. But you shouldn't be using that, it's too restrictive. You should rely on yourself not to do it, but having it as a blocker in-game, actually, it's like... I don't know, I don't play with that setting. It always feels like it's too restrictive. Like, sometimes I'll even give them more space than the game would say, but in some circumstances I want to place something close by. It doesn't necessarily have to be a wall. And so, if I don't have that on, then how is it gonna interpret it? I have no idea how are we gonna feed the troops with this. Well, at least we can build Javelineers now. We don't have to go with the horrible legionaries, because I'm so used to playing the campaign now. Haven't played a custom map in a while. But 10,000 people for this amount of food? I mean, there is a bunch of it here. but it's not safe. If the enemies come from here, that could be fine, but they have some little roads, right? Yeah. I'd like to wall that so that they only come from the center. I think that would be good. Food imports, maybe. You're here. Below there. Oh yeah, the empire map. That's what I asked about. So xHyuukin has made it so that it's like in Age of Mythology, where you can see the previous missions basically. So you've got Emperor campaign, and then you've got Ptolemy, which was the first mission of this campaign. This is the 11th one. So second you went to Symes, I think. Click on it, Symes. Then you went to Vetus Lysuntium, Pons Norba, Daskia. Then we got Polydis Litus. Then we got Casum Imperatoris. Then we've got Nuntia Scalorum. Then we've got Septanoris Tentera. If I could just click on it, yeah. It doesn't fit the window much. Morus Terroris is the previous one, and now we are here at Villa Odea. And yeah, so trade cities. Veda sells fruits, it's 40 units, it's not that much. 1500 to open up. Is that a cheaper one? 800 for this one. It buys pottery, it sells 40 fruit and a bit of iron. Melior sells some olives and weapons, buys a lot of vegetables and marble. And that's it. Not that many food imports at all. Early food is a problem. Later, once you get access to all this, it's not gonna be an issue, I don't think. I think it means that we have to kinda get to the other bank quickly. So, because if all the food is there, it's not what I need to set up the military, and I'm gonna be pretty paranoid about the attacks, I think. So what's the cheapest route? It's gonna be Bellish, right? Yeah. So that's 40 pottery we can export, most likely. It's 40, it's 3 shields, so it could be something a little bit different because it's custom empires, but yeah, we've got access to clay, marble and timber, so that's all the monument building, all the monument resources. Hey Frankie. Looking at the map, there should be part of it. Why? Splendid of fertile land on the other side of the river, so to build a bridge and can cheese the invasions. Oh yeah, right. And it's just weird that you don't even have a little bit, but it's fine. It's fine. If you have a river that's of concern, where people could cheese it, if they had some food on the other side, I can understand that. Okay, so where do we even set up our housing area? We need to fit 10,000 people in here, which is a lot. I have to do manufacturing near the trade route, which this lake is gonna provide us with a lot of clay, soil to work with. If we want to set up housing out here, we would need a Neptune's temple. We could also water them from up here, but it's not really viable too much. So we are just gonna have to stick something in here. It should be left open if possible, and we will have to do a lot of getting granaries. First, let's take a look at bridging. I'm gonna do low bridge since it doesn't really matter. Good bridge over here. There is some access to fertile land here, but then the spot for a block is there. I guess that works. Let's put the bridge there. I hope I didn't miss any wolves. There are 2 packs in the center, but I'm really not sure where the other ones are. You can have up to 4, and seeing only 2 makes me think that there are probably more. Just cannot figure out where. That's fine. If we see them anywhere, we can just wall off part of the map for them. It feels like this is Wolof, so it makes me think maybe they're here. I don't know. Let's go through this. First need to blind the actual block, so let's do it. Let's keep some space. Most likely regular shapes are not gonna work too well for this map. We'll see. Can do a curve there. Corner is a bit odd, but whatever works. It's a northern map, so no prefects are necessary, even though sometimes it's good to have them for public order. Spare you on small rocks with this one, mostly big 2x2s. Yeah, I can see that. There are some outlying 1x1s, but it's fine, I don't mind small rocks. I never complained about it on your maps. We'll need a Ceres temple, but we'll do Mars as well, so what do we do first? I guess Ceres. And then I need temple dump area. It's time to use the Marek corner. Okay, let's put in some more, even though this side isn't really where we want to put all of them. With logistics, but we can have them here, I guess. It wouldn't be the worst. Let's put down extra houses on this side. Okay, so let's let people move in. Map where Marocs are so dense you can't place Colosseum anywhere. Well, it's the Barnabas Tarsum is the map I made, which has, I think, the most technical rocks on any of my maps. And there, it's really a struggle to even place a large temple. But I enjoy it because it's so difficult to fit any regular shapes that you end up with something that's just really very different. But I wouldn't like to have that on each map. That's not how it works. But as a, like, if you are going into it knowing it's there, it's kind of good. Just challenge yourself to actually build something from, like, if you have access to very limited things and then you have to just somehow manage to get it done. I kind of enjoy that. Ferpa has managed to beat the map as well. The map isn't terribly difficult militarily, but it's all about the challenge of actually building in such a hostile environment. Marek corner, yeah. I kind of thought about bringing water there, but you made sure you don't have it. We could have this to water them from here. I actually think that might be something we will do for Patricians. Neptune Grand Temple and then Patricians here, even though logistics are gonna be pretty horrendous. Bringing all their things there is gonna be terrible, but it's the flattest thing. But then again, you can like fit it here without too many issues as well. So I'm gonna, that's just food for thought, I guess. So well. Alright, let's people move in. It's gonna take them a little while. In the hindsight, maybe not the best position to set up in, because it's gonna take a long time for them to move in. But well, other side wouldn't be a problem once you place the force between you and the enemy camp. Yeah, I can. It's what I figured as well. But making money is going to be a consideration. You need to start that as soon as possible. I also am a bit paranoid about health, so I'm gonna be giving my tents bathhouse access early on. Because I don't want them to explode, and they would totally explode. Wasting money. Just click and drag. Okay. Let's put in more. This is gonna be a little bit clustery. That's fine. Do you have plaza? No, no plaza. Okay. Then maybe we don't have this one because otherwise it's gonna be really difficult to provide desirability. Nice things. Yeah, I'm not complaining about that. Plaza has been enabled in bunch of maps you played lately, and it's a crutch, like it's to always go to desirability thing. So I'm actually not against it, because most of my maps don't have plaza either. For a good reason as well. As I said, it's not very balanced currently. Let's get a bathhouse over there. Okay, money. That's the exit point here. Let's put a warehouse up here somewhere. Shall clear that all, apart from the clay pits. Accept pottery. Let that activate. On this one, I think we want to excavate marble fairly early on. Just so we don't have to pacify the gods with a bunch of low-level things. That wouldn't really be good. With a bunch of small temples, I really hate doing that, and we've been doing that in a bunch of recent maps as well, because we had to. So let's put on a warehouse for a marble. Lacking some labor. It's gonna be solved. People are still moving and it's just taking them ages because it's not that close to my block. And feeding troops. It's gonna be something we have to focus on relatively soon. For now, some Some less of an export would be good. Glyphits are chugging along. Just add a couple more workshops. That one is messed up. I don't think we are gonna get much of a bailout, but if there is one, we'll take it. It's time to water these. Might have put extra ones there, but that's fine. We'll need some space. Couple of legionary statues. Just checking along. Yeah, did I check prices? No. 100 for pottery, that's nerfed already. Marble 200. I think you can sell a bunch of it. It's very high. Yeah, Melior, but it's 5,000 to open up. Okay. So does the housing advisor say we can still fit half more population in there. Let's let them do that. It's really taking a while to set up, but that's because the block is far away. That's why. This already has some marble. So we're gonna start putting in our things. Let's do architect and work camp. Sure, connect that up. Roadblock that. Need some products to sell soon. And it's taking a while. Hey Mario, welcome. Do it a bit more. Population milestone. We should be seeing some Voltaires soon, hopefully. Let's take a look at it. 93%. Okay. So wait until there is a couple of pieces on the stockpile. First one being deposited. It's not gonna suffice by itself. But it should produce more soon, yeah. So we want Belish as first trade route. Let's export that. That. We did actually get some bailout money. I don't like a mausoleum, but it's very expensive. But having one would be really good early on. How are they gonna do it? Let's do it. So how much is it? We need 10 workshops. So we've got 8 so far. Which means that we can use 2 more. Kinda top that off. And then the rest of our labor needs to go towards securing a food source. And we all have to feed the block before we do military, I feel like. Most likely, yeah. Alright, let's take a look at this farmland. I'm gonna clear this out of the way. You don't have that much money, so you should be careful not to go into debt if possible. We've built this already, that's good. What do we feed our block? So we got 2 local food sources and then you import fruit for the third one. Wheat or vegetables? I guess wheat, it's fine. Doesn't really matter since I'm gonna be doing both. Since it is a northern map, it's like Sarmesegatuza, basically feed them 2 types from the start. The only real detriment is you have to set up 2 granaries to really be able to maximize your things there, but apart from that, it's fine. Okay, this sucks. I'm gonna have to put it closer if possible. So we can have 3 in a row. There. It's gonna do for the first wheat amount, and then we'll put a granary there. Oh, that one is gonna have some problems. We could just put in more and then go towards that. With this. Kinda sucks, but that's how it's gonna be, so just put it down. Except wheat. Yes, I know, Caesar, you're not happy about that. Might be able to recover it. If not, then it's not a huge deal. But we definitely need to start getting some food over here. Was that a distant battle? Not yet. Hey Jake, welcome. Showing the walker paths is amazing. Yeah, the walker preview is great. Super useful. It has a bit of a bug where you build a road in pause mode, you cannot really see part of it as it doesn't identify the roads, but that's gonna be fixed eventually. For now, if the path is already standing, like if you unpause for any length of time, it's gonna fix itself. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's especially useful for messy builders. When you don't use gatehouses or low blocks, it helps you a lot because it shows you directly where the walkers will go. It's also very good for engineering and prefectures because of industry areas are usually sprawling and messy anyway. And so yeah, some places and some playstyles do benefit from it more than others. But it is pretty good. Well, that's what we have. Even when I play on central maps, people never have wheat. So, you know, I got used to it. Always must remember you cannot have nice things. Fairby says it is cheating. Is this a map with custom empire? Yes it is. It has the path of the previous mission, so this is the 11th mission in the campaign. So it has the cities named after each mission, and then we end up here, and we have 3 cities to trade with. This one is just an emperor campaign, it doesn't actually have a function. My least favorite aside from no wheat deserts. Well yes, no wheat desert is just the worst. But you know, double wheat is basically cheating. It's like if you have a wharf and it has adjacent fishing spot. It's just too good for its own good, you know? You're gonna be able to make obscene amounts of food that way. I know you like it, it's just, you know, it's a bit too good. You cannot have people have nice things. As I told you, soft maps breed weak men. Okay. Let's wait on this a little bit. We need a bit more food. Which is why wheat is not a thing of on my maps so far. Yes, that's why I mentioned Fairby considers that I cheat. Double wheat is really good, so I cannot blame you. It's just, you know, a lot of people are really in love with it because it's just so good. So you have to understand why. Gonna have to feed these scrubs. Let's do it. We want a warehouse. Get 16 pottery. Don't trade. Hey, Moron, welcome. Does Augustus Augustus market ladies still take 100 wheat but only 600 fish, fruit and vegetables? I didn't know that was a thing. Maybe I did? I think someone somewhere mentioned that wheat has more efficiency even with market ladies, but I didn't remember that detail. It's actually a pretty good thing to know. And I'm not sure about that. Maybe Kerry can answer that. Which is so powerful, yeah. Max that extra incentive done. Less markets. But yeah. I think we talked about it at some point, but it's a very long time. Yeah, okay. It's I'm not sure, but maybe it's not a thing anymore. We could actually see that IRL if there's enough, but it's gonna be really hard to catch the market lady with that food, you know. Couple of Lararii. And I guess immediate taxation is gonna be necessary pretty much. Pay them a little more, so now the grumpy. It's 800 for all foods now, okay. I was playing the Season 3 demo the other day. It was a real nostalgia trip. Oh yeah, I can imagine. I just, you know, for the vanilla game, it's so much pain. I cannot go back to it. Forgot it had labor map mode and different tax collection map mode. I don't even remember that. Furniture would be the next great thing. It should have default prices, but we don't have economy yet. Yeah, labor is really tight, but I need to think about the military soon as well. I'm getting a bit paranoid. And unemployment would cause emigration even at high city mood. Yeah, that's actually good. It's something that Augustus actually does well with the sentiment. Where people will not emigrate, but they will murder things. They will just go absolute ape on the crime. And they will, you know, cause many issues for you if you don't take care about your unemployment well. Which Julius just fails miserably at. Because you can abuse the system. Like, you are a perfect example of that. Because you know the game so well, you can just abuse it. Basically, it's not an abuse, it's a mechanic, and you mastered it. It's just, you know, once you figure out how the taxation works and how to keep the city mood stable, even with massive unemployment, you can minimize expenses, maximize profits and then stick with small castle a lot of the time, and that's gonna carry you a long way. If you have easy pottery, then of course a small insulate, but even with small castle, like, the game becomes so simple once you get your head around those sorts of things. Not so much here though. Small castle and even small insulate can totally die. I had Grand Insulate die to disease in Augustus before, if you don't take care of the health. I wish I have zoom on Julius missing so much. I can imagine, that's a pain. And not only that, there are other things that I would be missing as well, but that is also a key component. The zoom definitely does help a lot with the gameplay, making it smoother. Is that another granary? We need it. I had 10% unemployment on Cloud's map today and people started rebelling a lot. Had to please them with redundant entertainment. Yeah, that's what you have to do if you have to have unemployment. And even 10% is actually quite crushing to your city mood. So anything more than that and you are just asking for a problem, there is no cap on it either. So the higher you go, the worse it gets, and it gets worse pretty quick. And there are multiple ways to offset it, but it's always expenses, and so no longer can you just abuse that system. Is our pottery economy producing 40 pottery we can sell? I think it is. If we have 5 clay pits, so 10 workshops, which should mean 50 annually. Right? Or right about that, 48. So if we wait for, oh, it's a December month. Did I just... Was it January already? Yeah. Okay, I missed the quota, but I think we are maximizing that. We should even have some excess, which there is 2 currently. So we'll see. But I need to wait for this to be fixed anyways. Favor 36. It's fine, now they will buy a bit of that. I need to make sure that these guys get their desirability. We don't have plaza, so it's gonna be statues are the name of the game. I love Julius just missing zoom. Well, I hate Julius with passion. After I learned what Augustus can do for you and how different and complex it is, Julius feels like it's a different game entirely. And it's so simple. I wouldn't want to go back to it, even if I had the zoom. But that's your thing, like, you can play whatever you want. Statues are greater than plaza. Not so much. Plaza is the single most efficient and, you know, go-to thing, just because it doesn't take any space. It doesn't take any space because it goes on top of your roads, and that's a significant convenience factor of it. And it's always go-to thing if you have access to it. But it's good that we don't have it always. As I said, I'm a fan of that. It's not a critique. Oh, the debts are not good. Feels like we should be making more money. I'm just spending it constantly, I guess. Might need a bit more pottery actually, because I'm getting some of it to my block now. This will require another engineer though. Let's wait a little bit. Why do I have 3 granaries? What do you think? Do you see any farmland near here? No, you have to get your food, and so they are getting the food. No, Augustus has a setting for slightly better granary getting, and I have that. I play with that, so it's actually quite manageable with what we have there. It's just not great, but we can deal with that. Let's make this into a loop, cut this off with a roadblock without the engineer. Seems like he's gonna make it. Off-road mega-powered granary pushers, Julius taking back. Yeah, we can play without that setting. I would have to double up the granaries otherwise, so we would have to have 6 for this amount of food we are getting in here, and I'm gonna still have to make another one. It's just, the season never was good at really allowing you to get food and make things stable with that. Just like, it makes sense for the campaign most of the time, but for the custom maps, it's just, yeah, imagine how much extra stuff you would have to have, and you have to on a bunch of them. But especially when you have horrible logistics like this, it's gonna hurt a lot. What about the military? I don't think we should be getting distant battle at this point, no? No, not yet. Okay, so what can we sell other than the military? Iron. No, that's selling the iron. Right. Veda would be 1500 to open up for furniture and oil. Furniture is simple enough to make. Oil, not so much. You'll have to get it from here, but it's doable. So what does it sell for? Furniture is 150. Yeah, not everyone plays with the option enabled for the extra granaries. High capacity. You don't have to have it if you don't want it. You can buy olives via trade. Oh yeah, we don't have olives on trading, it's vines. That's fine. You can set up area here for manufacturing then. But first the furniture is gonna be a thing. Also, who does sell me olives? I forgot. It's probably this city, right? Melior, yeah. It's gonna buy marble as well. It's actually piling up significantly in there. I'm taxing them, it's just taking a little while. Did we really not get any pottery so far? I guess it's just waiting for 4 pieces and it's never at that because it's the caravans are constantly buying that up. That's fine. Buff the desirability slightly. Food is still not looking great. It's also because this could be better. Let's go with that and then loop it. Need to really start making this timber. And furniture. Just gonna accept some of it. Maybe the food is fine now. You'll figure it out. Having extra input here definitely will help it. It's just... it's a northern map, so you'll need plenty of farms. Not to mention soldiers will eat a lot of food. So... that's something we'll have to figure out. I cannot have that, because otherwise we would have to... I guess it's fine to go around that actually. Let's just put it down. It's okay. Military is gonna be so expensive to set up. People are stealing my stuff. Distant battle. It's the tents. We need to feed the tents so that this ceases to become a problem. So add another market and then make sure we have plenty of food. So I would have to have something like 10 granaries at this point for this block to work without the setting. I don't think that's very reasonable. And this is not like the furthest I could have built this block. Not by far. Okay, we might have to go into debt. Caesar hasn't asked for anything ever yet. Let's build a supply post. Where are the barracks? Start making them javelins. Show me natives. Just gonna put our fort slightly more in the back. I know Caesar hates it. What can I do? I'm gonna take that favor hit. It's gonna be like -5 or something. And yeah, already the food is a problem, but last stand. Yeah. We fixed it, it's just, you know, the granaries have some trouble with that. Might be the input as well. How many farms do we've got? 10, 11, 12, 14, 16, 18. So it should be enough for much more than we have. It's just a lot of it is stuck in transfer as well, you know. Plus soldiers, which is gonna be a significant part of that. Let's wait, it's January, we need to recover that. We start to see some first furniture being made, so after we go out of that, we are gonna probably spend money on opening the trade route. Go back into that, but secure the extra export. It's definitely not easy on the economic side, I like that. Otherwise you'd be, like, if I had several thousand, I would be just constantly developing new and new areas at this point. Just not what you want. Like, you want to stretch the early game at least a little bit, so it feels like you really have to manage it. I'm a fan of that. They didn't buy that. Is it full already? No. This next one is gonna buy some of it, come on. Before Caesar goes absolutely ape on me. Yes. Let him chill for a moment. He needs to realize that we are not having that anymore. What did I want to do? Open the trade route. Alright. So that's better. Let's do it. Sell them furniture. I know. And it's gonna get worse. So I need to build this. So again, he's gonna hate that, but we do have some of it here, so that's gonna solve our issues, sort of. Towards the end of the year, we should recover, hopefully. Yeah, there's also a lot of furniture sold. If only the taxes would help us more. How much are we making? 800, and it's still, yeah. At least it's making a little bit of a dent into our levy and all that. So, are we gonna see some pottery eventually? We should. It's just taking a while, and it never has stockpiles, I guess. So that's the reason. Oh, is it higher than 40? I didn't realize that. No, it's 40. Right. Because it's custom empire, it could have different quota, like it's 20 instead of 24 for the furniture, but yet it has 2 shields displayed. So that's the custom empire shenanigans in the background. Have to hold without that. Also, have I reduced my... Yes, I did, and I have 200 exactly, so I'll send him a gift. We should be good now. We have a fort. I just wish we could place down a military academy, but that's a lot of money. Which we just don't have currently. And we might have to manufacture pottery around here. for local consumption. We do have some unemployment, which that's not great. What about housing advisor? We could still fit more people in the city. Right. Slightly more furniture would be good. The workshop's there. I'm just gonna try to make it here, I guess, with the pottery. Guards might become a problem, but mausoleum is so expensive. Okay, we have 1,000. I guess I'm making a military academy. Let's put it here. It's on the way, so that's good enough. Need to go small insula so that we have the just taxes. It's just taking a while. Let's go to a couple of Flararii. And we can preemptively go entertainment if I had the money for it, but it's September, so let's be careful. Okay, I guess you're going for it. Actor School and Gladiator School. What about this guy? Can he make it? Yeah, can. Just for the tax. Well, it's not just for the tax, but it's very significant. Okay, this is kind of borked. It's okay, we can set up a new farming area. It's gonna be pretty close to the granary, but we are definitely gonna go with series, I feel like. A lot of grand temples can be built, it just needs money and it will need shit tons of it, but eventually it will be really good to have multiple grand temples on this one. That's for sure. Make sure it doesn't spawn on the wrong side. Grand Insula, we could. It's just the oil of it all is gonna be a problem since we cannot make that much of it. Yeah. So Grand Insula is gonna be a problem. Enemies are closing. I really should be building a new fort next year. So we'll see. Okay, now we see some surplus pottery, that's good. So the warehouse should be getting it. Okay, Caesar wants it. He can have that. Oh, let's add a little bit of clay industry over here, I guess. Actually, yeah, like that. This needs a connection though. Rotate favor, it's fine. It's November. Filled all the quota, I guess. 40 and 20, yeah. Okay. Next year we're gonna get more trade going for us. I feel like the Carter isn't even spawning for some reason. Returning with a delivery, okay. Good. Yeah, he didn't like that much, but you're 42 favor. It's not the worst. So make some money now. Shall spend on a fort. What else do we want? Small insula coming right up. Let's make sure they do. It's gonna be significant for taxes. What about housing space? 280 people. It's not that much. I'll have to figure out now what to do. Do we evolve them? But it's not gonna provide us taxes. I guess just adding another block would be better. And I will have one here, I guess. For like flies. Yeah, we'll see about that. I'm not sure about the enemies. Choose a map with 100 natives. Well, it's xHyuukin's next map. It's his campaign which we are playing. It's his 11th mission. And yes, this is... I suspect this is just to trigger you. You see no mission post? No mission post? So many natives? I want it. No, I don't. It's good we don't have access to it. That would just absolutely break the game. Okay. Next. New block, I guess. Look like small tents. Yeah, it's supposed to be an enemy camp, so you can use that for visuals. Okay, so planning. Need to plan this block, which I'm not very pumped about. We're probably gonna have to somehow deal with this rock. I really don't want to make it into a line block, but then again, the rock abides. I need to deal with it. Maybe it's not the best area to have it in. Just have something very small there eventually, but have a regular sized area here instead. Can we go standard on this? For well, I can actually. It's gonna cut into the fertile land a little bit, but who cares about that if there's so much of it? It's 88, is it? Yeah, so it's 92, 96. Didn't expect this of all things. Look at that. Beautifully soulless. Venus Grand Temple is gonna be important, I guess. Gonna go for a small Patricians most likely, so we don't have the second vine type. Since there is no plaza, the extra desirability is gonna be super important. Let's put down logistics area over here, which means that doctor, barber, and engineer go here. Need some small temples. Let's go with series and then the rest. Sure, I'm gonna put them here. just make 6 2x2 houses and see if they fit. I measure the road, usually it's the simplest way for me to figure it out. Yeah, came up with it, and now suddenly a whole bunch of people are using it, which is good. It's just a little bit funny when they don't credit anyone, you know, but it's fine. At least the YouTube video is effective, even though it doesn't really give me anything, because you need 1,000 YouTube subs and that's gonna take absolutely years to get. And I can start a mouse bot to print standard blocks all over. Now, I'm not a fan of that. I know there's someone who mentioned that you can copy stuff like that. But you know, I think people mostly find this sort of thing more interesting, at least if it's a little bit distorted and just light up this. But if you allow me to place it, like what do you think is gonna happen? I'm probably gonna place it when I can. Because it's super important for the city to have it stable. It's gonna help a lot with that. Okay, food is looking horrendous. I'd like to not have to bunch this up much. Separate the getting over here. People are coming. Isn't it a wiki reference to ask Kerry if new single rock in the editor could be named Marok? I did kind of invent them, but you know, the tactical rocks, that is, but that's not as important as the block layout. That's a different thing. Like, if someone copies that exact design, it's kind of clear where he got it from. There are only so many things you can go about designing an efficient block, and there's a possibility some people came up with it separately, but even people from our community, like, they clearly went to my video, watched it, commented on it and everything, and then later they just kind of forgot where they got it from. And like, oh yeah, but this design, I got this and that. Oh, yeah. Enemies at the door, yes. Bathhouse. I guess we could call it ma block. See the first block furniture. If you really want to, I could do it, but I'm really opposed to it. It doesn't benefit you in any way. You shouldn't be doing this. What we will be. Alright. No trade. Still have unemployment. New area should hopefully mean that we have a lot of furniture at all times. Okay, we burned through that money quite quickly. Tasty furniture, yeah. Medium insula is so useless. Oh well. xHyuukin says it, so you'll do it. If we had money, we could start doing this, but you're gonna take a favor hit now. Yeah, I know. The quota has run out, so I just spent way too much. It's fine. It's easy to overspend if I get all my money early on, and then there is no export for the rest of the year, you know? If you are not careful about that, then you can get all your money early, spend it in the first couple of months, and then you just sit around and like, oh yeah, I cannot make more money now. So it's kinda dangerous, but Caesar is not that pissed off, so... Could be much worse. Okay, that was special. Remove that. Except wheat 16. Gotta do some vegetables as well, I guess. I don't like doing that, because that would upset the people a lot. They hate living next to farms. You could kind of loop it, but what does it look like? Yeah, I'm just gonna actually separate the two. Hey Flarinance, welcome. No personal funds. You have 2 denarii salary. It's 5, so we can reduce it to 2. I had some savings, a little bit, but we already gifted him once, so I'm not gonna send him small gifts, I don't think. Gotta say that the way roads are placed in Parkitect looks really cool. I imagine the system here, yeah. I mean, Parkitect is a solid game overall. And as I said, it's kind of interesting thought where 3D isometric view would actually work quite well. If you were to make a game that has the same view system like Parkitect and have it be a strategy game which actually has RTS elements like and city builder like this, it could actually work. Which is something I never thought about. Background information, ruins or Villa Oreo, which has been run down by the enemy. Yeah, we are probably gonna share the same fate. Unless we make sure we have plenty of military. Accept the vegetables. Two markets. Good as statues. I'm gonna do the same thing here, but make a big one when we can. This kind of sucks. Can I fit it further back? Yeah. Okay, this is gonna help a lot. Let's put down a school. The theater. Are you happy now, xHyuukin? Are you happy? Made me do this. Yeah, desirability. Sure. Enough? Yes. Let's make some local furniture, I guess. So much better. I prefer medium insulate because of the rock base they stand on. Yeah, they look cool. I mean, I like all the housing evolution levels, how they look like, and that they are very specific. CZ is really good at doing that very well. But some of them you just don't see at all, and unfortunately I do care mostly about functionality, and so you'll very rarely see the inefficient things from me. So in this case it's just giving us a little bit of population boost, that's all it's doing, but that's fine. Don't need to go ham on efficiency. This map is not as hard as some of the other ones, I guess could say. Not as hard as I expected. Sad. Alright. Now we still need more food in here as well, but let's put down a farm. Actually here. So we can put down an amphitheater here. I'll need to start getting pottery to these. Get 16 pottery, don't trade it. I'm gonna go with statue. Some gladiators. And actors. And getting one is gonna be quite bad, so I'm gonna stop getting with this one. Just accept. Do some manufacturing over here. Just doesn't look that flat. Yeah. Unfortunately, evolving them much further is gonna be a problem. Oil is not gonna be enough for patricians and plebs, so, you know, we'll not be able to get that, I don't think. That, I don't want to go into that. So wait, it's fine, it takes a while to immigrate for people, so can just let them keep doing that. Blessing from Mars. So what are the enemies about? Samnites. The stronger Etruscans, basically. That's what they are. Looting in the city, oh no. Well, the small cast, I don't like that. The extra entertainment should help. But you'll see they don't like the taxes. I could pay them a little more. Keep the city stable. What's our tax bill projection? 2,300. It's not that much at this stage of the game, but it's definitely helping. Spirit of Mars killed our swordsman. Warehouse was looted again. Yeah. I could just stop this, but I think we kinda need it. Are they just gonna run off? No. Military lost. No Grand Insulae. Should have planned that better. Well, yeah, I cannot go with Grand Insulae, it's too little oil. Too little oil. Okay, now we are getting somewhere with this. I'll have to get them furniture as well though. No trade. It's getting really sprawling, but it's probably fine. It would be much better if we didn't have to go this way and then cut off that part and put in a new engineer here. $6,000 schmeckles. Right. Let's put down a large statue. I'll go with a couple of towers. Make walls for guards. And highway, I guess. It's expensive, but we kinda need it. I don't want to connect this road up though. That would be the worst. If we were to do that. But this should help the speed quite substantially. Can you cancel that? Okay. Spend a lot of money on that. It should hopefully solve the logistics. Some more vegetable farms. Let's go pair. They do. They do. It's finally I'm able to use them. The Legionary only campaign is really putting a mental strain on me because it's so counterintuitive. I cannot force myself to play it too much, even though I'd like to get on with the campaign. Every mission is quite difficult. The last one, Sermisegetuza, was something. I had to load a save. Okay, restricting logistics with an earthquake. I like that. It's not just a lose button, which it would be if it would be here or here. It could have been that. But this is restricting your movement of things, which is good. It's just, it could maybe reduce it even more. It kind of would, Scupper, if you were to cheese the water from here. So maybe that's kind of thought behind that. It could be moved a bit, so it definitely scuppers both of the reservoir spots though. Because like this I could still fit one, I think. Yeah, I think so. Maybe not. Yeah. Let's 20 vegetables. We can have that, I just don't have the space for it now. Let's put down a granary here. It's gonna accept a buffer of vegetables. No market ladies though. Caesar is not liking this. Making plenty of goods for our local consumption now. That's good. Send him the vegetables. He doesn't like the debt. Let's take a look at our savings. Can go with medium's gift. That's fine. Now, can we do more trading? That's the oil. Shall I have to save up marble? Yeah. At least a bit of marble would be good to sell. So that's next year. We are gonna save up for opening up the trade route. Or we could just go into debt and do it. It would also work. Accept marble. Let's get a couple of quarries. Actually gonna get it from the other area, I guess. So there's a bunch of it sitting back there. And we are gonna be opening up Melior. Export this. What about the vegetable prices? 45. That's actually decent. It's just tough to get in here. That's fine. Need that, but it's very expensive. Oh, the traders will come here now, right? No, please. Don't do that. Furniture is a bit fluctuating. Might have to go with a second warehouse even. If I connect that, that wouldn't be very good. Maybe it's gonna stabilize eventually. I'm not sure what the Carter is. But I don't want fluctuations in here. Let's make this here. Let's get some. Guys are getting angry. Let's make this happen. I know. You'll need some clay for that monument as well, but we can harvest it here. Just need money. Yeah, we sold everything we could this year, so it's gonna be a favorite hit. But next year we have all the quota open up. 5 marble just, yeah. Oh, that's not enough. I need to make some granaries for vegetables, I guess. It's not gonna be super efficient at all, but it's what we have to have, I guess. Let's put a couple of these down. Oh, yeah. And I need to make sure we don't accept traders in any of these. Devolution, but we have the second warehouse now, so hopefully that's gonna be enough. Not sure why the furniture is running out more than the potter. I would think that it would be the other way around, but it's not. 2000 in debt. It's December, January. Okay. 24 favor. You need to be careful about that. I need to enable this form. I think I disabled it? No. You didn't. Without people's mood, indifferent. Building levies 1300, yeah. It's cutting into that significantly. Construction is the main thing though. We're just spending way too much on that. But I'll need to figure out what to do with the unemployment soon. I guess we make oil. Okay, sell vegetables. We can focus on that a bit. That's gonna soak up some labor. Let's connect this up to here, I guess. Or we can just have an extra granary. So it wouldn't hurt. Let's accept vegetables. Let's get these guys an engineer. I'm gonna have to mine some monument resources now. 2 clay pits. Two timber yards. You can actually hug the side of the cliff so we can put in more marble, as we will need that in the future. Let's acquire it. Timber and clay. And we need to save up. I don't think we can afford a Grand Temple at this point. Do another Javelin Fort. Can farm a bit more around here. Okay, looking good. If we manage to reliably sell a bunch of vegetables, that would be really good. It's just... it's a lot to ask. I guess I'm gonna just pile in a couple of these down here and then we'll hope that it works. Also, this one will need a road connection, otherwise it's not gonna have labor. And to reliably fulfill that quota. They can buy up to 100, which is a lot. Might actually want more production. Let's put some more over here. this is gonna be pretty bad for the engineer. Well, I'll just let him have his own thing. He's gonna still cover everything, because on the return trip he becomes a destination walker, but that's fine. Okay, so next thing, let's take a look at our housing advisor. 800 more people. Right, probably a new block and then patricians if we have the money. One farm needs access. Oh yeah, just build the road the wrong way. Thanks, didn't notice that. Need oil manufacturing next. That's a thing. It's gonna be kind of precious for us. Let's build a bit of a highway over here, speed up the trade. Just that extra little bit. Yeah, debt. It's January. We lost a bit of favor. So again, overspending towards the end of the year is rough for me. It's fine. I'm just so greedy. Let's put down a Grand Temple to Ceres first. Gonna probably be building quite a few Grand Temples on this map. We need a Venus as well, but for now, let's just have that. That one will not have access. See how many there are this time. Doesn't seem like too many. I'm gonna have to build up another mausoleum or two. It's double the size, approximately. And no Mars's blessing now. They really don't want to come in here. It's again, the one by one path is just screwing up with their pathing a bit. When I tried to balance military relay with javelin spam wasn't a thing. So hard to balance. Well, javelins are gonna receive a nerf. It's gonna be the hit and run nerf, mostly. Collapsed building. Okay. But yeah, it does make it hard to balance. But not really if you are used to it. But it's the only way to play the game effectively. Like, other military units don't even come close to being as effective. So you should always balance it around javelins if you have javelins available on the map, which you do. Always. Because you have to predict people will use it. Ah, what did I do? Vegetable farm. Okay, yeah, oh, cut that off. It's not very smart. Okay, fine. Just put a redundant engineer down, that's okay. So, new block and then patricians? We need to make wine as well. Can we sell wine to someone? No. Okay, but we can make it so that we have access to it for later use. And you can import second type of wine, so no need to go with Venus. It actually would be better if you couldn't import the second type of wine, so you are forced with a decision, because at this point I would totally go for that wine benefit instead of the desirability, even though it's really good, the desirability. What's not good is, you know, the blood blocks are stable and I'm not gonna give them oil, so no reason to buff that desirability. And Patricians, I just make it so that they are less dense. Are there any villagers who will be pissed off if you build on their land? Yeah, but only these ones, I think. You really don't have other natives. Let's make more food. Need to employ people anyway, and food is a good thing to set up anyways. So let's do it. Let's make sure that we engineer it. And we'll need a new block. What about the housing advisor now? Yes, still can fit people in the city. I'm gonna go with a couple of oracles in here. I'd like to relocate some of the small temples. It's everyone apart from Ceres. So they can just sort off in here. Mana, we need to be careful, it's December. I haven't seen it running around, but maybe they will spawn when angry. Do you want me to test it? We could test it, because the only enemy is here. But yeah, I don't think they will care. Because the large ones, I don't think they spawn enemies. No, you need small natives to spawn the natives that are gonna attack you. If it's just large ones, they will not care. Learn something new every day. So it's the same sort of deal, like if you have no large meeting hut on a map and you have small natives, they will not do anything because they need that meeting hut to spawn. But if you have only large ones, which this is the first map ever I've seen only having them, then they will not do anything either because they need a thing. Right. Let's put another architect. New work camp would be good. We'll need so many monuments. It's okay. Alright. New block time. Where do we put it? Patricians are gonna probably go in the middle. Which means that plebs, I would be willing to have them here if I could give them water. Which water seems like it's gonna be a bit of a pain to get in there. But it's doable. Right? Not a massive fan of that. It's not gonna be good to have them here, I don't think. We could connect it and then just, you know... you know what? Let's try it. Let's give it a shot. Make sure there's some space over here. What the fuck did I just make? Okay, just whatever. This is the new block, don't question it. It's not good. The middle dead space is definitely not efficient. And let's hope that they can cover it all. But overall, as long as it works, it's fine. I need to dump my temples here. Natural beauty. Lines farm. Okay, yeah, I forgot. There's space for a large pond in there. There is. There is. That's all that's gonna be said about that. This is unwaterable pretty much. Gotta put my housing here. Okay. Still marble is the issue. It's alright. It's gonna allow us to employ people. And we can sell 5 from this. Oh, that's fine. Let's keep it stocked up. Alright, works too. Yeah. I'm not a fan of bonds. I think you are aware of that. But, you know, if you can ask us for it, you cannot say no, can I? Gonna make this one have some decorations, I guess. So I dragged him in. Oh, this is gonna be something. If this works. Venus would be really good for this one. That's for sure. Well. Let's put down a bathhouse, otherwise they will explode. Make sure they don't. Connect up the logistics areas. Roadblock it heavily. Forum, but not yet. It's going to be beautiful, especially with the pond in the middle, which you will build. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna do it for you, but I'm not a fan of ponds. As you are all aware. I'm pretty sure. First I need fountains. There's something to be said about the doubling up of the houses like this. It's not gonna be good for desirability, that's for sure, but It's kind of good, isn't it? They are even animated. Yeah, they are. I know it. It's just still not a fan. I usually don't build them, you know that. Unemployment is gonna be a bit of an issue. Alright. It's time. I want to water these scrubs from there so that we can do this. Parks, large pond. It's a freaking aqua park. Plum trees, I guess. The population loves it. I'm not too sure about that. I'll need some more convincing. Haven't seen these in a while. Let's build some of them. Couple of Ferrari I never heard. Let's do. Thank you. Well, it's fine. Parkitect has taught me to be tolerant towards people who enjoy decorations a bit more. But I still don't think it's good for you to do this. Think of the time. Could have moved on with our lives already. But, you know, feedback on that is always good. If you really think it's good, then maybe we should do some more of it. I'm not sure. It's just, to me, it feels beyond pointless. But, I don't know, maybe people like it. And we are gonna be vindicated for it. Who knows? Let's put a bit of garden right there. Precious seconds. Yeah. Well, we are already at 2 hours, and most of my maps or my runs are 2 hours. So I'm not sure how people are gonna feel about having to stay longer on YouTube to watch this. But maybe they won't mind. I'm gonna go obsessed with the 2 hour mark lately. So, you know, having it too long is not good. This makes sense, but then again, maybe it's fine. Alright. It's the crime. That's what I expected. We'll have to deal with it somehow. This is chugging along. Let's make some more worker camps, I guess. A couple more architects wouldn't hurt. Two-part map on YouTube. We could. We could split it up. If it's like 4 hours, I would probably do that. Some pawns here and there instead of on the statues make the city look more interesting. Okay. Yeah. You know, it's also about just at a glance I can tell where everything is. If it's multiple kinds of things, then it's kind of hard to, like, it's pitter-patter everywhere. Like this, if I need to somehow tweak it, it's not simple to do it like this. You know, so that's another reason to do it like that. But oh, I haven't seen this one in ages. Let's put it down. This one, you basically never use it because it's hidden in another sort of area of the menu, and so you usually go for equestrian statues. I haven't seen one in ages, yeah. Wasn't this animated before? Probably not. If it has water access, right? Oh yeah, I can see that now. Yeah, makes sense. Alright, so that's the new block setup. So how are we looking on labor? Yeah, we need patricians. It's just the money isn't looking that great, and we will certainly need to build them a thing, which is Colosseum. So maybe we wait. I'm not sure. I want a Venus for sure before we really do anything else. It's like the best monument area you could wish for. This should get fed eventually. Might even need another one actually. Let's put on a school there. So we can fit another market in here. Alright, patricians. I'm gonna have to figure them out. Which they will hate the forts, but that's fine. We can probably do something a bit different this time. It's not gonna be as large of a patrician block, but it doesn't really matter. It's gonna help with the desirability. Since you don't have plaza, it's actually sensible to do this. Plus, we probably want extra ones on the side. It was very expensive to build this. I should be careful with the favor. We can probably leave this for now, just to have this set up. Mother corner with no use other than temple spam. Yeah, but it's still, like, it's where I put all my horrible stuff that I don't want anywhere else, so it's still useful. Alright, so how are we looking at oil? We do have a stock of it. But we fulfilled all the quotas, it seems. Okay, we should be building this. I think we want another architect, really. This is done. Oh, let's have them consume less food. Yeah, I know. It's December, I shouldn't have done that. It's December, I shouldn't have done that. Okay. Send him a gift. January now. There have been any requests yet? I can't remember. There also have one request for pottery and then maybe another one for something. It's like 2 or something. I really favor is quite scarce so far. Alright, so let's start doing them, Patricians, right? I'm gonna be putting the granaries here. I think we want to import fruits, so let's set up this one to accept fruits. Probably gonna rely on getting granaries for the most part for this. Which just seems like a decent amount. Wheat. Vegetables. And fruits. No traders for vegetables either. And goods. We need to start stockpiling. Fortunately, that kind of leaves only a little bit of space back there. I'm not a huge fan of that. Gonna set them up here, I guess. Let's get oil. Gonna get the maximum amount, that's fine. Let's get wine. Let's get furniture. I want to build up a stockpile, so it's gonna be good to get all of it. No trade here. So that is the logistics setup. All the god temples are gonna go in this one. Let's get some fountains going. Is there any use for the Wolf Island? Not really, maybe adding some farmland there would be nice. Yeah, if there was some sort of rare thing you could go there for, might incentivize it. But it's tough to get, like rocks, restricting rocks would be really rough on this one. Yeah, but then 4 wolves are gonna drive you nuts with howling if you don't decide to clear them out. Yeah, having a shortcut might work. Like here, here and here somewhere. Here would be fine, so that you can get them to the other area, like get oil here fairly easily. But you know, it's not necessary. It's just thought. Currently the map has more than necessary resources, I feel like, so who knows if that's really important or not to xHyuukin. Let's go with a couple of Neptune temples, I guess. We'll be building that as well. For now, let's just wait. Oh yeah, these... They hate life. How are we gonna solve that? Just more large statues. Should help. Yeah. This one hates life. Think about how you avoided it completely. Yeah, but there is no reason to go there at all. So, you know, why would you? Looting, they hate life, I know it. It's fine. I'm gonna start making some food over here, I guess. Need to employ people. Some wheat. Now let's take a look at this. Where is it? Yeah, I'm gonna just expand the production a bit. Gonna have to make it there. All the labor soaking we can do is good. Oh, why am I getting so much of it here? No, oil. I must have misclicked that. Oh well. Oh no, no. This is the... I'm stupid. Just, This is a plat block. It shouldn't be getting any advanced goods. It should be getting just furniture, and this is the Patrician area. So it's just... It's taking a while to build up the stockpile. So let's get them some time. Oh no, why are the traders coming here? Please, no. They're coming to this granary, right. Yeah, let's give it some time. Mistakes were made. Favor. Just ask for anything, really. I don't want to be here such a long time. It's gonna be horrible to grind that favor. It's the last thing we'll need. I'm pretty certain of that. The requests don't seem to be spaced out too well. I don't know. You are thinking with the time scale. You are experienced. You should know the events. Like clearly the requests take too long. Even for me, and I make mistakes. If I was not making mistakes, we would be even faster. So, you know, that's a bit odd, but it's not major, it's just annoying. Let's get them all the things. I need employment anyways. Hospital. What did I want? Gladiators, lands, these sorts of things. Actually, put it here. Let's cut that off. He wants furniture, he can have that. Gun temple is done now. It wants me to spend more money on another temple, but this is gonna help. Could put it into pleb blocks as well, but I'm not sure if you want that. The requests last 80 years, maybe that's a bit too long. Yeah, it's too long of a time scale. You want more early on? I did, to be fair, I did go into debt quite a bit, so my gifts were wasted on the debt. But otherwise, I just, you know, wasn't able to get many things. As requests, which I'm playing quite fast as usual, but I'm pretty certain you can play even faster if you want to. Like, it's totally possible to play faster. It's just... I'm not sure. It's September, we need to hold on for spending. Maybe just make a bathhouse. No. Price rise on pottery. It's good for us. How large is it? It's 29, it's substantial. Time limit on my maps tend to be around 60 years. Could also boost the favor gained from the requests you have. Yeah, that's another way to make them stretch out longer if you really want to have the longer time scale. But it shouldn't really be too necessary. Okay. Let's make a Coliseum. What's December? Okay, I'm gonna go back on that decision. It would go a long way, but I was going into debt a bunch, so it's also kinda on me. But still, the requests were not timed too well. A long time wind up in between of them, so I think you don't really want to have that all that much. Okay, let's put down a bunch of warehouses. Some marble. Get these. We need some marble, so let's get it to these warehouses. I need to make sure nobody comes here to trade though. Alright. This doesn't seem too safe. Yeah, Super Cheats, welcome. Blessing from Mercury. Do one pottery. Do I not get pottery? This doesn't have road, maybe, yeah. It's the culprit, right there. It's gonna be solved. Tavern, it's gonna be necessary. Which we don't have meat, so it's gonna kinda suck. But that's fine. Potter is gonna make its way here. Does the lower warehouse have road access? No, it didn't. I just noticed that. That's why I didn't get any pottery. By the Colosseum. You mean this one? No, it doesn't. As well, thanks. Gonna be getting marble to it, yeah. Alright. So how many some nights is this gonna be? Quite a few. Gonna take a couple of losses. Due to the enemy javelins mostly. There we go. Yes, finally able to use the javelins. Oh, it's such a relief from the campaign with Legionaries Online. I don't know why I ever agreed to that, but that's what we have. We'll be playing some of that in the near future as well. So I need to get on with it, and it's Lutetia next. And no Lutetia. Lindum? So I think it's like we need 2 maps. Campaign, yeah, that puts the pain into the campaign when you play only Legionaries. Like really, it's not good. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Especially Sarmi Segatuza was a humongous pain. Get them Patricians. Thanks. Well, who sells wine? Okay. Let's say we import 1 unit of wine. Gonna insulate for some seconds. Yeah, that's what we wanted. Isn't it? Pawns, yeah. Oh yeah, we have pawns. So you are monsters. Form. They take labor. I don't think they do they? No. But labor sponging could be a thing. I need culture anyways. So, you know, the best and easiest way to deal with this labor issue is just go with this, but I wasn't sure about our fiscal situation before. So that's what why I didn't want to do that. We also have redundant stuff nearby the old monument construction site. It's just, I can't really be bothered. Maybe, what's the advisor saying? I'm probably gonna go with Neptune. Fig roads, yeah, you have various things, but the roads, the paths actually don't act as a road. So you don't want to build that as sort of a thing. You just put it as a tree of sorts, or a statue. You know. Some events. Actually, I'll put them more in the back, I guess. Fig palms, normal spawns. Yeah. I don't like to play spawns on northern maps and such. I like to stick with the theme, so verdant hedges and stuff like that on northern maps. Sunlit hedges on central and desert maps. Because it just, there is a kind of special way of hatred I have for when I see palm trees on a northern map, or vice versa when you have fir trees in the desert. It's just makes me want to murder someone. But I know some people who do that. And they do it on purpose as well. Because there's the contrast of, you know, no, it's not what you want. What you want is it to look how it should. Have food. Are we fine? We are, just the food situation isn't great. Do they have series access? They do, they should be fine in that case. Monument completed. Is that Colosseum done already? Okay, that's a bit bonkers. What do we want? Might want to go with a couple of oracles, maybe? I'm not sure. It's not necessary to do anything else here, but... It was quick. Hippodrome, no. It's not necessary. They'll evolve. It's just this needs, yeah. Doctor's clinic, but no hospital. Yeah. The hospital walker strikes again. You just need to hold this. Remember last time when you built a hippodrome, almost went down south pretty fast, yeah. Where was it? I don't remember. Yeah. It's just like that. It's the hospital walker has a slightly shorter range than all the other walkers, you know? And that's just making him a bit special, where he just cannot make the loops. Ah, why? Why have you done that? Fine? Okay, let's add another market. No. That's fine. Just make sure there is plenty of desirability to go around. Oh, this is so painful. Why are you doing this? Entertainment, not enough variety? Is it? Did it screw up with that? It doesn't seem like it did. What happened? What happened? It's entertainment for sure. No gladiators. Oh yeah, it cannot figure it out because it has a different approach. Okay, fine, I'm scuppering this. Okay. We can build up a labor soakage elsewhere. We don't need it here. It's causing issues. It's causing issues. Let's just remove that. So when they have two roads, they sometimes fuck up and just do not spawn at all. You know, so that's great. The destination walkers from the gladiator schools and actress colonies and lion pets, they just don't spawn. Make culture happen. And okay, finally we have games. Great. So yeah, evolution's back up. Just good. We didn't lose the goods this way. Just need prosperity, peace, favor, population. I'm gonna save up for a big gift, I guess. This thing is done. tax. We are taxing them, I think. There is a forum. People are very pleased. We could tax them more, but there's no reason for it. I don't need to be swimming in money. All we really need is just to be done. What does population advisor say? Yeah, quite a few patricians will still move in, which means more taxes. Going for 500 culture. I mean, we can. It's just 200 labor isn't that much left. We could put in more plebs, but that's not necessary. It's gonna be bad if I do that. I can remove some cultural buildings if we lack labor. If anything, it was just for now to soak it up, so they don't complain. They have Colosseum, they don't have meat from the tavern, so that's why they don't evolve all the way up to highest evolution level. There's no fish or meat pigs on this one, which is fine. It gives you an incentive to go for a hippodrome if you want to. For patricians. 100 vegetables, yes. Can have that. It's not that much favor. The moving in of the patricians takes hey, so it ages. That's fine. Send him a gift. The invasion is gonna happen soon. Yeah, we could almost go for 100 all ratings, but it's not really necessary. I suspect you will add more requests now. I'm just speeding through, so 500%. It's gonna mean we will probably see some requests pretty soon. I'm considering building popsicle sticks in front now. Just because the attacks might get even larger. They probably will. And I don't have Grand Temple to Mars, so let's just build this. Spirit of Mars helps. Could go with even more tars, but I don't think we need that. The Samnite swordsmen are very powerful in melee. They just don't really have all of my staying power. Some knights are basically like Etruscans, but much better at life in every way. Smaller quest gap next year's, then double request, okay. Price rise on oil. That's fine. So what do you think, xHyuukin? Did you expect me to do things like this? Or I guess the oil is one thing that you didn't really think about too much, but it just isn't really viable to give it to too many plebs. You could do it if you go with Mercury Temple. You could just reduce the oil consumption a lot. But why? You know, it's not necessary. It's a bother. I thought you would advance at the top of the map, like build a bridge in the northeast part. Here? Yeah. I didn't really find use for this area really, because there is no food. I could bridge over for food, but instead this seems like a logical area to me, at least. It's closer to this as well, which could create sort of a line, so... I still think this is the most intuitive way to do it. Yeah, they always do something different, but that's why I'm asking, so that we get some feedback on that. Only one of the blocks is really a heresy block, like in terms of it being brain dead. So I guess good. Even though I could have probably got away with murder here somewhere. Get another one going. Still, I think the rocks are a good addition. As always, I like them. Could even be worse, really. So there is always something of an expectation for what will happen. Yeah, that's why there you have a sort of a thought process behind like how do you design a map. There's a way where you like you will try to figure out what players will do at a certain point, and then that's how you design the map around that sort of thing, or like design areas for that specific purpose. While here it seems like you have a lot of options, and so you probably just went with it. Yeah, 10,000 is a lot, but on this map it's not that much. You can also trade a bunch, so we did some labor sponging, but this is not an excessive amount of that. So for this map it's totally fine. The favor is gonna be real annoying. Speed up. Thought I saw fluctuations there for a moment, but no. Giraffes to Caesar, and he's gonna get whatever he wants. Don't really care. Major mechanic was the advance over the river. This map with food only on one side, trade on the other with the caravans. Yeah. Only need favor, yeah. It's kinda expected, considering what we just discussed majority of the run. Let's put on a couple of oracles, I guess. It's fine. Actually, the population has grown a bit. It's a demographic shift where people have grown up, I guess. Must have been something like that happening. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming though. So it's gonna be an issue. But in that case we can just do this and add a couple more houses and we'll be fine. Is one of the trader routes sea trader route? Why does it say that? Oh, it's because we opened up the you start with an open trader route to the Emperor's campaign and it constantly spams you with you need a dock. Alright. Well, I'm gonna build it. No access to the sea. Okay, there's no entry point for the river, so there's no way. I guess. I could disable the military academy. Yeah, if you want to. They wouldn't make much of a difference though. The military academy doesn't give you attack. It just gives you morale. So, it wouldn't make a difference in these fights. You know? I could also go with more towers. If I didn't have an academy, I probably would. Thinking of that, we might do that right now, actually. More exits out of the village would be good as well, so they spread out a bit more. Make them in front if you want to, that's fine. At least it makes it sort of one-dimensional, because otherwise it could get really rough if they exit from the sides a lot. But having multiple ways for them to come through in the front would be good, because otherwise the one-tile gap just makes it very defensible. And they do also fuck around a lot, because they don't know what to do with that. So they end up just drip feeding themselves to 1/4 at a time. some extra watchtowers. $300 wheat. That's a lot of wheat. It's not natural. I'll have to artificially bump it up. It's always great when you have to do that, but yeah. 300 is too much. 200 would be more close to natural thing. And I do have a lot of redundant granaries. If you didn't build your blocks on that other side of the river, you would even have less stockpiled up, you know. So this could be some frustration. Cats. Why are they so clumsy? It's also like that now. And these just fell from the window randomly because the parapet is getting too small for them, and so they like to lay there. Then they didn't realize how fat they are, and then they fall. It's surprised Pikachu face. It happened only 3 times today. So, who could have expected that?
I'd give this city.
But the guy in the battle camp who has to attack the killing machine of javelins and towers, yeah, you probably wouldn't want to do that. Through the one tile gap as well. But that's fine. Just gonna have to shove enough people in and maybe they will break through. Or just instantly breaking. 10 javelins would make absolute mincemeat out of this. Okay, we need a new granary as well, I guess. Oh, maybe not. Send him the stuff. Enable the towers to ride for extra work. What? Enable the towers to ride for extra work in the village. Oh, yeah, they need access though. If I do that, I might as well just add more. So they're actually useful, you know? They're cut from existence, there are rocks around them. No, just... yeah. No, this is enabled, right? Disable this building, yeah. That's what you want. Could just add more. Something to favor. 100 denarii. Oh, fluctuation. That's fine at this point. Left. Okay, 10 furniture. Let's send him the furniture. All the requests are good. It's these guys that are causing the issues. Just feeding them is a problem. Because of that distance. It's fine. Everything's gonna be just fine. I might remove that tent actually. Put in a market. Maybe that's gonna help. Kinda doubt that, but let's try it. Just shoving enough food in there is a problem. 150. I need more. Increase my salary. No, that's an exploit. Build more ponds, yeah. It's what you clearly need. That's what I said, it's gonna feel off with the favor scaling. I knew that once I saw we are building Patricians and I had like 29 favor. It's pretty much apparent at that point. Oh, but that's gonna be -2 favor per year. That's not gonna pay off for the increase we get. I don't think. We can do it naturally. Two more months. Mm, 81. Need a request, we'll see if something hits us. Attack. Right. It's getting to that bit tedious part, but that's because we are speeding through. 500% is really fast. You know? Sometimes the morale is really their big drawback. You can see that clearly. What is that? Sure. Oh yeah, Zag has an emote for that as well. Makes sense. Okay, we'll just wait for a request. That's what I need to do. There we go. Was it 50 when previously it was 100? Doesn't make much sense, does it? Okay, let's get 5 salary. It's December though. Oh, yeah, it's fine. Could go with medium gifts now. Must be in vacation today, he doesn't want too much. Yeah. Isn't too demanding on the city, considering what kind of stuff we are able to accumulate. Well, that's fine. Let's accept a promotion. With the new conditional settings that is being worked on, this will pretty much be solved. Yeah, it will. But the author will need to do another thing on top of everything else, you know? So it also becomes more complex for map making, which some people have problems with already. So, It's good it's only Augustus at least, because that requires advanced tanking already, which means that Julius will still remain pretty simple to do, which that should be a thing. Alright. Yeah, not the hardest map ever, but it has some challenges to it, definitely. It could use more entrances for the enemy camp. More requests, that's for sure. Other than that, I'm not really sure what else I would really recommend doing. Maybe shuffle the earthquake to hit both of the spots for reservoirs if someone wants to cheese that, but then again, logistics for food would be horrendous, so it's not a huge deal if they do that. Some sort of value to these, I felt like I didn't actually use this much because there was no reason for it really. Didn't wake up the wolves? No, we didn't. We didn't go to the island at all. But there is very little you can do to make it worth players' while. And even farmland, there is plenty of it on the map, so you don't really feel like you need it anyways. So I'm not sure what you can do to really make it worthwhile. If pre-placed buildings wouldn't explode here, you could do something, but this is cut off, so it would explode. Use the edges of the native side to make player confident building there. Yeah, but there is a hint that the attack comes only from the camp, and so you should be fine with that, you know? This is one of those situations where it's fine to have multiple exposed edges like this. Every single one of these tiles could be an invasion point, but you know there is only one or only a couple here in the camp, actually, so it's fine. It would not be fine if it didn't say that. Then you would be absolutely horrified about every single edge. But that was not the case. 2 packs hidden elsewhere. Here. But that's because we didn't go this way. And where is the other one? It's on the other side. The campsite. Campsite? Sorry, I don't know. I just cannot see it. They do blend in quite well with the trees, so you could end up releasing them upon yourself quite easily. Well, hidden in the forest, yeah, I cannot see that. They do blend in quite well if you place them in a very tight spot. It's really hard to spot. Yeah, someone will probably fall victim to that. That's fine. We didn't go that way, so we didn't really suffer that. But it could have easily happened if I didn't pay attention to it. But yeah, anyway, thanks for making the map. Could add wolf pack in the native camp and shut them in there. So when the attack arrives, they will let the wolves loose as well. Yeah, that's what happens on Sarme Segatuza if you are not clearing the wolves fast enough. And it can be really annoying because the wolves will run through a lot of the time. But it depends if you want to do that. Like, you could. But, you know, not sure if that's a good idea. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'm gonna probably send you on a raid since we have quite a few viewers. Can send you off to see Blubber. Yeah, bye.